Hey little one, I'm writing this while you're asleep, because when you're awake, time runs too fast. Dear my tiny miracle, you fit inside my hands, but somehow you've already redrawn all my plans. Your breath is jazz at midnight, soft, offbeat and true. The whole world slows its tempo, just listening to you. Your mother's eyes are living in the way you smile, and every second with you feels borrowed for a while. They told me time would fly, I just didn't know it would hurt this good. You're growing faster than my heart can hold. Every blink you're someone new. I press pause on every morning. If I knew how to for you, this moment feels too precious, like it's asking me to stay. So I'm writing you this letter in case today slips away. You curl your fingers around mine like you're anchoring me here, teaching me in quiet ways what it means to disappear. The clock keeps being disrespectful, keeps moving on its own, but when you laugh the universe finally feels at home. I used to chase tomorrow, I used to fear my past. Now all I want is right now, please let it last. I don't need the world to know my name, you already changed it. You're growing faster than my prayers at night, faster than my words can say. Every dream I ever had just learn to walk your way. If love had a measurement, it'd be how I feel today. So I'm saving all these seconds that I can't convince to stay. One day you'll run ahead of me, your hand won't need my guide. You'll hear your own kind of music in the rhythm of your stride. I won't always have the answers, I won't always get it right, but I'll be there in the background, clapping softly at your life. Jazz taught me about leaving space, letting feelings breathe. So I love you without holding it, and trust who you'll be. Your crib is full of quiet stars, your dreams are bigger than the room, and I make promises I can't keep, like please don't grow up soon. Your mother hums a lullaby, the house exhales content. I never knew forever could feel this present tense. If this song sounds unfinished, that's because it is. I'll be writing it forever, every day like this. You're growing faster than the nights go by, faster than my voice can learn. Every smile rewrites my soul, every tear makes me return. If time insists on moving on, then here's what I will do. I'll love you in every version of the girl you're growing into. So sleep now, little melody, tomorrow waits its turn. This letter has no ending, just pages I will earn. Love, Dad.
The mornings come a little slower now. Light stays longer on the wall. I don't rush the sound of coffee, I let the day arrive at all. Shoes by the door, familiar places. Every room knows how I breathe. Nothing's missing, nothing's shouting. Peace sits easy next to me. I've loved in fire, I've loved in fear. I've chased the almost outran the clear. Now I walk beside the hours, not ahead, not in the rear. Time doesn't push me anymore. It opens doors, then waits. This is the quiet that knows my name. Not lonely, not afraid. It doesn't promise something better. It just lets today be stayed. I don't need more than what is here. A steady hand, a familiar view. This is the calm I grew into. A life that finally fits me too. Photographs in softened frames, smiles caught mid-laugh, mid-mess. I don't count what might have been, I count what I didn't miss. The mirror's honest, not unkind. It tells the truth without demand. Every line a small reminder of things that finally understand. Evenings hum with old blue notes, a record turning slow and warm. The world can knock, but it can wait. I've learned the shape of my own storm. I've made my peace with unfinished plans. They rest where they belong. This is the quiet that stays with me through every ordinary day. It doesn't ask me who I was, it likes me just this way. I don't chase youth, I don't pretend. I know the cost, I know the view. This is the calm I stand within, a life that's gentle, deep and true. There were years I held my breath, thinking joy was something earned. But joy was waiting in the room, patient while I learn. Now laughter comes without surprise. Tears don't scare me when they fall. I've learned that balance isn't stillness, it's knowing how to lean, that's all. The children grow, the house grows quiet, then loud again in different ways. Love changes clothes, not direction. It just walks slower through the days. This is the quiet I once mistook for standing still, for being done. But it's a river wide and steady, carrying me, not done yet, not undone. I don't need proof, I don't need signs. I don't ask life what comes next. This is the peace that follows truth, a life I no longer second guess. When night comes in on softened feet and leaves the stars where they belong, I turn the light down, not away, and hum along to what is strong. If this is all, it's more than enough. If there is more, I'll meet it slow. For now I live inside this calm and let the hours come and go.
The doors are locked, the tickets sleep. Neon fades to breathing blue. I walk the halls where oceans wait, behind a wall of you. Moonlight bends through acrylic waves. Fish learn how to glow. The city hums a mile away, down where the sirens go. I check the pumps, the silent clocks, count bubbles like a prayer. Every tank's a universe that doesn't know I'm there. The water keeps its own time. After hours, blue glass sea, I keep the dark company, while jellyfish ride lullabies in slow electricity. If peace is something you maintain, not something you receive, then let me guard this borrowed time, so you can sleep and dream. A shark drifts by with ancient eyes, unbothered by my doubt. Sea turtles carry contents, they never hurry out. Corals bloom in borrowed suns, programmed dawn and dusk. I learn how fragile beauty is, and how to trust the hucks. A child's handprint on the glass from earlier today, I leave it there, a small hello that didn't wash away. Stillness swims when noise is gone. After hours, blue glass sea, the quiet feels complete. I turn the night into a home for fins and thoughts in me. If love is care you give unseen, where no one's counting score, then I believe in staying late to give a little more. I love someone who needed air, said water held her down. She wanted streets and open doors, I wanted deeper sound. She said, you talk to things that don't ever answer back. I said, they teach me how to stay and not to crack. She left it closing time one night, her coat a moving shore. I watch the rays keep circling and learn what patience for. I feed the tanks with careful hands, measure light and salt. Out here mistakes don't shout at you, they quietly default. The octopus studies my face like it knows my name. We share a look that says enough about the changing game. Dawn practices its palest blue beyond the loading bay. I log the night, I dim the moons and make it day. After hours, blue glass sea, I kept the world in tune, so morning could arrive intact and brave a little soon. If you've been holding too much weight or drifting in between, There's calm behind a fragile wall where I've been. The lights rise slow, the doors unlock, footsteps learn to flow. I leave the ocean to its crowds and take the quiet home. Another night of borrowed tides, another truth I see. Some people keep the waters calm so others can be free. The bell above the door goes quiet. Dust settles like a hell breath. I turn the sign to closed in red and count what's left. Shelves leaning like old friends with stories worn and wise. Every spine a secret, every margin a disguise. I sweep the floor of yesterday, receipts and pencil lines. I keep the hours alphabetized between the signs. Time curls its corners here. After the last page I stay, listening to papers sigh. Love reads slowly in this room, so I let the minutes fly. If memory is ink that fades, and hope is glue that stays, I'll meet you after the last page. There was a girl who smelled like rain and underlined the stars. She asked for poems that didn't end and left me where we are. A man returned a dog-eared dream, said it hurt, but it was true. I stamped the date, smiled carefully, like clerks are trained to do. I've watched 1,000 endings and beginnings pass my hand. I sell the maps, not the courage to understand. Silence turns another leaf. After the last page I wait, where the lamp makes silence glow. Every sentence finds its home in the quiet undertow. If longing is a margin note you never mean to say, I'll meet you after the last page. I tried to write my own life once, but skipped the messy parts. I crossed out fear with elegant lines and footnoted my heart. learn some truths, won't catalog. They wander dog-eared free. They fall in love with strangers and come back changed to me. Midnight hums through paper stacks. A city reads outside. The moon bookmarks a window pane and waits for me to decide. I lock the door but leave the light for anyone who's late. Some souls arrive between the lines and call it fate. After the last page we'll know which words were meant to last. We'll shelve our doubts in quieter aisles and stop outrunning pasts. If love is just a story told with courage day by day, I'll meet you after the last page. Register clicks a final time. The room exhales at ease. I carry home the unsaid lines like keys. Tomorrow brings a fresh first line. Tonight I let it be a book left open on the desk, waiting for me. Evening loosens its tie. Streetlights learn how to sigh. Windows glow like unfinished thoughts that don't ask why. A bar hums low in amber tones. Ice keeps time in borrowed bones. The city leans a little closer when it feels alone. Your silhouette arrives before you do, like a memory finding its cue. Nothing urgent in your eyes, just the calm of something true. Some nights don't want a story told, they want a feeling left to hold. Stay right here in the half-lit room where the clock forgets its name. Let the night pour something honest in glasses without shame. If love is just a moment, learning how to breathe, and stay right here beside me and let it be. Your voice moves soft around the room like smoke learning how to bloom. Every word a careful step across a private tune. I've danced with louder miracles, I've chased the perfect line, but the way you listen now feels like the truest kind. Outside a taxi laughs and goes, inside the piano knows how silence sometimes says enough when it's slow. Just taught me how to wait, how not to rush what wants to stay. So stay right here in the velvet space between the notes we don't play, where glances write their own arrangements and don't fade away. I'm not asking for forever, I'm asking for tonight, for the romance of existing this gentle light. If heartbreak is a language, I've learned it fluently. But tonight I'm speaking something else, like hope, carefully. The trumpet down the street bends blue, like it's telling us the truth, that beauty lives in letting go and still choosing you. We don't need to make it sacred, we don't need to make it loud. Sometimes love is just two shadows refusing to be proud. Your hand rests close, not touching yet, a promise you don't set, the kind that says I'm here without collecting debt. I watch the candle hesitate, as if it knows the stakes, how even flame must choose how much of itself it takes. If this ends when morning calls, let it end complete. Let it sound like one last chord, warm and bittersweet. Romance isn't what we say, it's how we let the moment stay. So stay right here where time goes thin and names don't interfere, where love doesn't demand a future, just asks us to be sincere. If tomorrow pulls us separate and memory has its way, I'll remember how the night leaned in and chose to stay. The lights grow tired, the room exhales, the city turns its page. I leave with nothing promised and everything that stayed.
We met like a song already playing, soft in the corner of a crowded room. No fireworks, just a steady rhythm, like something I'd been humming to. Coffee cooled while we kept talking, midnight slipped into the floor. You laughed like you weren't trying, and suddenly I wanted more. We walked with nowhere to be going, let the city set the pace. Every streetlight felt forgiven, every shadow knew our face. Love didn't rush us, didn't shout, it took its time and stayed around. We fell in love like a slow dance, one step forward, none too fast, every moment leaning gently into the next one that would last. No grand lines, no perfect plan, just your hand fit in my hand. That's how love first learned our names, and all the ways love learned to stay. We learned each other's quiet weather, who needs space, who needs a sign, how silence isn't always empty, sometimes it's just doing fine. Sunday mornings, open windows, music low, the world on pause, arguments that end in laughter, over nothing, over loss. We grew brave in ordinary ways, paying bills, making time, turning me into together, one small promise at a time. Love wasn't loud, but it was true. It showed up daily, dressed in you. We built a life like a good record, side of flaws, side B grace. Every scratch a little story, every spin a warmer place. No perfection, just the art of choosing each other's heart. That's how love deepened its sound, learning how to stick around. Then one night beneath the quiet stars, you asked me something simple and kind. No stage, no practiced answers, just a yes that felt like time. Rings like circles without corners, vows said slow so they would last. We promised room for growing older and forgiveness for the past. The room was filled with all our people, joy in every shade and tone. But even in that happy crowd, I knew we weren't alone. Months rolled by like gentle waves, plans were made then rearranged, until one morning changed the music and nothing sounded quite the same. A heartbeat small but undeniable, time suddenly learning to wait. Love found a brand new language, something fragile, something great. Nights grew short, the days grew wide. We learned a different kind of tired, but every cry rewrote our hearts with a deeper kind of fire. Love looked smaller in our arms and somehow stronger than before. We became a family in rhythm, jazz time, love imperfect and true. Every day improvising, finding grace in what we do. From first hello to sleepless nights, from holding hands to holding life. This is how love fills the room and keeps on finding something new. Years from now when the house is loud or finally quiet, warm and slow, we'll play this life like an old song, still swinging soft, still letting go. Because love didn't come and go, it learned our pace, it learned our stay. From falling into raising up, in all the ways love learned to stay.
The stage lights hum a lazy gold, shadows stretch across the floor. I watch you tune the upright bass and feel the air grow more. Your fingers slide along the strings like they own the night. Every note a whispered dare, every chord a bite. The crowd is far, the music near, a low insistent beat. But all I hear is how you move and how my heart skips heat. Every glance behind the curtain counts. Backstage heat, the night is ours. Silent sparks and neon bars. You play the music, I play the gaze. We trade the tension, not the praise. Slow it down, hold it tight. Let the rhythm feel our fight. Backstage heat between the lights tonight. Desire ignites. Lean against the mic stand close, a shadow brushing mine. I sip my courage, feel it rise with every offbeat line. The trumpet slides in sultry low, a smoke-filled bridge of sound. I trace the path your wrist creates and never make a sound. Your hair falls forward like a veil, I catch a fleeting spark. I wanna reach but hesitate and leave it in the dark. The spotlight waits while we pretend. Backstage heat, tension sways, every look a soft malaise. No hands collide but almost do. Every breath belongs to you. Lean in slow, let it tease, let anticipation breathe. Backstage heat, hold the night. We're strangers in the ride. I've loved in daylight, safe and clear, but night teaches subtle things. How silence draws you near, how shadow bends and sings. We trade a glance, a broken smile, a promise without words. Every heartbeat counts the while, like slow, seductive chords. The band fades into gentle hum, the crowd forgets to care. We linger near, just out of reach, a secret pulse we share. Your wrist brushes mine, electric, a question I can't speak. The air between us thick and sweet. The night is ours to keep. Backstage heat, the air is slow, every glance a spark to show. We don't need to cross the line, the waiting makes it feel divine. Breathe me in, let tension rise, every note a compromise. Backstage heat and muted lights, tonight desire ignite. Desire ignite. Curtains close, the floor grows cold. We slip into the hall, but the music lingers in our veins, and shadows answer the call. The ocean keeps its ledger in waves and shades of gray. I log the wind in careful lines before it blows away. An anemometer hums low, like it knows my name. The lighthouse blinks in steady codes, nothing here is tame. I taste the salt in every hour, the fog learns how to stay. Out here the weather tells the truth, even when I can't say. Numbers don't lie, but they don't hold you. I read the sky like broken news, trying to understand if pressure's falling everywhere or just inside this man. I warn the ships of what's to come with calm and measured tone, but no report can tell me how to weather being alone. Clouds rolling like unsent letters, heavy with maybe. The radar paints a quiet storm, circling patiently. I check the gauges every hour, same ritual, same doubt. Funny how I trust the sea more than my way out. A trawler calls on Channel 9, ask if the night is safe. I say proceed with caution, like that explains my face. The forecast leaves some things blank. I read the sky like broken news in millibars and rain. I chart the cold fronts crossing lines like borders in my brain. I tell the coast what to expect when the tide is grown, but no instrument can measure how it feels to be unknown. I loved a woman who chased the sun, said storms were not her style. She wanted heat, predictable days and answers on a dial. She laughed at my devotion to wind I couldn't see. Said you spend your life predicting what you won't let happen to me. She left on a clear horizon, no warning, no delay. I watched the pressure drop that night and wrote it down anyway. Morning comes in muted blues, girls rehearse their cries. I send the data inland, let the mainland decide. Out here I trust the subtle signs, a shift, a smell, a sound. The sea has taught me how to wait without needing ground. I pour another cup of black, watch is almost done. Another day of standing still so others can outrun. I read the sky like broken news, so strangers make it home. I name the storms, I track their paths, I never face my own. If love is just a climate that changes when you're grown, then I'll keep watching weather from this outpost of bone. The barometer steadies now, the wind lets out a sigh. I close the log, I dim the lights and listen to the tide. Tomorrow brings another shift, another truth to choose. You can't control the weather, but you learn how not to lose. We've learned the shape of every fight, the same old words, the same old night. I know the script, I know my lines. I'm sorry said 1,000 times. We circled truths we're scared to name, turn small sparks into flames. I wear my guilt like second skin, apologies that never win. The room goes quiet after storms. We clean the mess, we move along. But something underneath the calm keeps asking what we're holding on. I'm tired of being wrong and right. Tired of surviving every night. I've been rehearsing the goodbye in sentences that don't feel true, trying to sound like I'm ready, trying to be brave with you. I thought if I said it first, it might hurt a little less. But every word I practice trips over what I still confess. We used to laugh without a plan. Now every talk feels like a stand between defending what we are and drawing lines that go too far. I see myself through your tired eyes, the parts of me I try to hide. I hate the man I become when I forget what love is from. We fix the surface, miss the scene. Call it growth, call it routine. I wonder if we're just afraid of what it means to really change. I don't wanna keep score anymore. I don't wanna win these wars. I've been holding on a distance, like it might teach me how to breathe. Convincing myself letting go is the kindest thing I leave. But kindness without courage turns on us hearts to stone. And I don't want a future where I learn to be alone. Jazz on the radio bends low, a trumpet learns how to say slow. It tells me love is timing too, not just what you say, but what you do. I thought walking away was strength, but strength might be to stay and mend, to stop performing remorse and choose a different course. If I'm quiet now, it's not retreat. It's me trying to hear your heartbeat. Under all the noise we made, there's still a promise, frayed but brave. I open my mouth to end the line, and everything falls out of time. The truth shows up uninvited, simple shaking, undecided. I see the nights you held me up, the patience in your waiting cup. I see my flaws in clearer light, and how you stayed despite the fight. I don't need perfect words tonight, I need to be the man who tries. Not late at night when it's safe, but here before we break. I was ready to say goodbye, because I was afraid to fail. But loving you is choosing work, not choosing the easy trail. If love is more than promises, then let it be my proof. I'll trade my tired apologies for change I'll carry through. So if you're listening, please hear this true. The one I love the most is you. I'm sorry, I'll do better. I'll learn how to stay. tie my apron to the dark, the streetlights hum and G. Flower drifts like winter over what I used to be. The mixer keeps a steady pulse, a heart I learned to trust. I measure hope in teaspoons and faith in rise and crust. Windows fog with promises, the oven learns my name. I need the night until it yields and never feels the same. Time warms its hands in here before the city wakes. I wait for door to find its voice. Every loaf is a quiet prayer that chose to be a choice. If love is heat and patience, holding shape through breaks, I'll leave it on the counter before the city wakes. Before the city wakes. There's a nurse who comes at dawn with tired eyes and change, a kid who buys tomorrow with the coins his pocket saved. An old man hums a wedding song he learned in '62. I slice the day into portions big enough for two. Never ask my history, I never ask their names. We trade in warmth and minutes, not in blame. The radio learns the lie before the city wakes. I stay listening to yeast and rain. The smallest things keep working. When the world complains, if dreams are built in stages and trust is what it takes, I'll set them on the windowsill before the city wakes. I love someone who hated clocks, said morning steal our fire. She wanted sparks and midnight talk, I wanted ovens higher. She said, you smell like yesterday. I said, I smell like home. We split the way a baguette breaks clean lines, but not alone. Sometimes I see her laughing in the glass the heat has drawn. I brush the flour from my hands and carry on. The sky turns pale and honest. Delivery trucks arrive. I score the tops with careful cuts so beauty can survive. The first train sighs, the doorbell rings, the street begins to breathe. I hand the morning what it needs and take what's left of me. Before the city wakes, there's peace that doesn't need a crowd, a simple truth in rising dough, saying nothing loud. If love is made of daily acts no headline ever takes, I'll leave it warm and waiting before the city wakes. The sun shines off on rooftops with a quiet ache. I wash my hands, I turn the key. The city wakes. The city wakes. Morning ties and polished shoes. The building clears its throat. An elevator opens wide and swallows coats and notes. You stepped in like a quiet line, written clean and spare, perfume soft as punctuation in the ordinary air. No names exchanged, no promises, just mirrors telling truth. A glance that learned my heartbeat in the space of moving roofs. The doors closed like a held breath. Time leaned in, then moved on. Between floors and maybe I found a reason to stay. In a city full of calendars, you colored my day. I don't know where you're going or who you might be, but I'm searching every morning for the chance of you and me. The numbers climb like questions, 7, 8, then 9. Your reflection met my hesitation at a perfectly wrong time. You smiled like you knew a secret I hadn't learned yet, the kind that turns routine into a careful bet. The bell rings soft as closure. You stepped into your life. I carried on to meetings with a brand new kind of why. All day the hum of elevators sounded like your name. Between floors and maybe I replay that ride. Every button feels like destiny, every pause a guide. I scan the glass in corridors like maps that disagree, hoping coincidence has a memory of me. Jazz teaches patience, how to love the space between the note you almost played and the one you mean. So I let imagination swing, give rhythm to the doubt. I dress my hope in subtlety and take the long way out. If chance has a tempo, let it find our feet. I'll be early every morning where our schedules meet. Coffee cools the lobby breeze. Another day begins. I watch the doors like stage curtains, waiting for a win. Every face becomes a question, every heel a clue. I learn the art of noticing by looking out for you. If I see you, I won't rush it. I'll let the moment choose. Some stories start with nothing and everything to lose. I don't need a perfect line, just one more rise and fall. Between floors and maybe there's a song I hear, a gentle kind of bravery that draws you near. I don't know how it happens, but I know I'll be right there when the doors open. if you're looking back at me. So here's to passing moments that ask us to believe that the smallest rides in life know exactly when to leave. And if we meet again someday in a mirrored morning hue, I'll thank the lift for teaching me how to wait for you. For you. Last call echoes down the platform, coffee breath and tired shoes. I punch the clock, tip my cap to a sky of steel and blues. Tickets folded like small lives in a pocket near my heart. Everyone's already leaving before we even start. The whistle cuts the midnight, a thin decisive line. I carry all these somewhere selves between the dots of time. Rails remember every choice. Between stations I keep the night rolling soft and true. I don't ask where you've been from, I just get you through. If love is motion, faith is trust in what you cannot see, then ride this song of iron miles between stations with me. There's a bride with borrowed courage, clutching lace and doubt. A man who missed a second chance and won't say it out loud. A student counting futures on the windows, passing stars. A mother learning how to sleep with distance in her arms. I scan their dreams in silence, stamp a date or place. The train knows how to hold a crowd without a single face. The map breathes when lights go dim. Between stations, names grow light and stories intertwine. We trade our weight for velocity and call it being fine. If truth is what you whisper low, when no one's asking why, then let the wheels keep talking while the towns go by. I loved a woman who hated goodbyes, said they sounded like delays. She wanted roots, a Sunday plan. I wanted moving days. She said you live in corridors. I said I live in now. We split like tracks at a river bend. Neither learned how. Sometimes I see her silhouette in glass that shakes and sings. I check the doors, I check myself for all the missing things. Dawn rehearses in the east, a thin, forgiving gold. I wake a city carefully like something fragile old. Announcements bloom and fade, a practiced kind of grace. I hand the morning back its keys and find my place. Between stations there's a truth that never needs a name. We're all just passing through the dark on different trains. If hope is simply staying on when miles feel incomplete, then keep your ticket warm tonight and take a seat. The engine sighs, the doors release, footsteps choose their fate. I walk the length of what we were and close the gate. Another run, another sky, another chance to see. Some lives are meant to move us between stations endlessly.
The city holds its breath at 4. Streetlights blink like tired stars. I cue the vinyl clear my throat. Talk to shadows in parked cars. Phones don't ring, they confess. Whispered lives on borrowed lines. Truckers, nurses, broken poets, all awake between the times. I say good morning if it is like that helps the truth feel alive. Spin a tune in minor keys to keep you company tonight. Silence leans in close to hear. I'm a voice between the songs at 4 a.m. Keeping lonely hearts in tune. I don't know your face or name, but I feel you in this room. If you're driving nowhere fast or lying wide awake, I'll stay right here, just breathe until the morning breaks. Calls from interstate, says love left her at the line. A man won't speak, just lets it ring. I play Coltrane, give him time. A college kid with books and doubt asks if dreams expire. I tell him softly, not tonight, and turn up the choir. Every record's got a scar, a pop, a hiss, a sigh. Like us, they sound more honest when they're not too clean or dry. True swing's better when it's blue. I'm the voice between the songs at 4 a.m. When the world forgets to sleep, I stitch the dark with melodies, so the hurt can safely weep. If you've lost your way in echoes or your hopes running late, I'll count the bars and keep the light on till the daybreak. I once loved someone who loved the noise of daylight and applause. She said my hours were haunted by invisible applause. She kissed me once in a parking lot, said you talk to ghosts all night. I waved as dawn took her away, kept my mic, dimmed the light. Now every sunrise sounds like her, fading in the traffic's hum. I let the needle ride the groove and wait for what won't come. Coffee's cold, the clock leans forward, ads are cued, the sky turns gray. I read the weather like a prayer for folks headed into day. One last song for the insomniacs, for the brave and barely there. I sign off soft like closing eyes on a dream you almost share. I was the voice between the songs at 4 a.m. Just a signal in the blue. If this night felt less alone, then it did its job for you. When the sun learns how to speak and takes my place, remember someone kept you company in the space. Goes on, the booth goes still, dust settles where I stood. I pack my voice into the dawn and hope it did some good. The bell rings soft like a tired thought. 5 minutes till the lights go low. Dust floats up in golden lines from stories everyone should know. I walk the aisles, return the day to spines that never sleep. Every book a borrowed breath someone promised they would keep. A student folds his doubts in notes, a mother whispers soon. An old man reads the same last page, like it still might change the tune. Knowledge hums when voices fade. I close the books at closing time but leave the meaning on. Some truths don't fit on shelves at all. They linger till you're gone. If you came here looking for yourself or somewhere safe to stay, there's always room between the stacks at the end of day. Margins filled with private wars, underlines like scars, coffee rings on paperback dreams, maps to who we are. A novel size in foreign tongues, poems learned to wait. History pretends it's finished, love refuses dates. I stamp the cards, I straighten chairs, count footsteps heading out. Funny how the quiet grows when no one's left to doubt. Silence reads the room with me. I close the books at closing time, turn pages in a night. But what you found stays folded in where hope learned how to write. If the world feels loud and unfinished, or you're afraid to say, come back tomorrow, I'll keep a seat at the end of day. I love someone who read too fast, skipped endings, chased the thrill. She said life's not a reference desk, don't stand so very still. She left a note inside a book I shelved but never found. It said some answers take a life, not just a while. Now every time I close the doors, I hear her turning keys. Wonder if she ever learned what staying means. Outside the city clears its throat, sirens start their rhyme. Inside the clocks agree to pause for one last borrowed time. I power down the screens and signs, let paper breathe again. Another night of holding space for strangers and old friends. Tomorrow they'll return with storms, with plans, with loss, with spark. I'll be right here to light the lamps before it gets too dark. I closed the books at closing time, but left the lights on low. For every question brave enough to not yet need to know. If wisdom is just listening when words are in the way, then meet me here between the lines at the end of day. The doors lock shut, the stacks go still, moonlight learns to read. I walk home full of other lives and what they made of me. Another day, another shelf, another truth to say. Some stories don't end when you leave, they wait for you next day.
Fluorescent lights don't blink at night, they just keep watch like me. Carousel number 7 hums a tired lullaby in B. I stand where every journey ends or starts to feel its weight, watching circles go around, teaching patience how to wait. Suitcases with stubborn scars, stickers from another life. Some packed with suits and folded plans, some with wedding shoes and strife. Every bag knows where it's been.
This is carousel number 7, where the world comes back around. All the leaving and return make the same familiar sound. If you lost something in the sky or found yourself instead, it all shows up eventually on this belt of spinning tread. A kid hugs a dinosaur, missing one plastic eye. A woman counts her breath and steps like she's scared to say goodbye. A man in uniform checks his phone, then checks his face, as if reflection might explain why he's in this place. I tag the bags that missed their flight, give them new directions home. Funny how the lost ones always end up finding me alone. I don't ask what's inside. This is carousel number 7, where patience learns its shape, where hope arrives in scuffed corners, held together with tape. If love took a different flight, or courage didn't land, might still be circling somewhere just above your hand. I once boarded with a single bag and a name I couldn't keep. Thought distance was a straight line, not a loop that learns to sleep. She waved from security, smiled like I'd be fine. I've been watching bags come home ever since that sign. Now every unclaimed suitcase feels like a choice I made. I leave them locked till morning with the things we never said. The crowd thins out, the belt runs bare, a janitor hums low. The loudspeaker apologizes for things it doesn't know. I shut it down, the circle stops, silence takes the floor. Another night of lives arriving at the wrong door. This was carousel number 7, where endings touch the start. You can lose a pair of shoes or misplace a heart, but nothing's gone forever. It just waits its turn to come back changed, a little warm with something learned. The lights stay on the runway sides, dawn clears its throat. I clock out with empty hands and one last note. The pool is closed but not asleep. Blue lights hum against your skin. The city floats above the glass like it doesn't want us in. Your hair is still remembering water, your dress remembers you. I order time, another drink, and watch it change its hue. Bare feet echo on the tile, every step a soft taboo. I lean against the shallow end and don't pretend I'm through. The night smells like permission after hours, chlorine blue. Every ripple points to you. We're not touching, but the space is doing things we didn't say. Hold the edge, don't make a sound. Desire loves a quiet crowd. After hours, chlorine blue. I feel naked just with you. Your laugh slips off your shoulder like a strap you're meant to keep. You say the water's still too warm. I say the night's too deep. Reflections cut us into pieces. Neon over bone. I trace the shape you almost make when you think you're alone. Your fingers drum a heartbeat on the surface of the pool. I watch restraint lose patience, trying hard to look like rule. The water listens better than we do. After hours, chlorine blue. Every glance is something new. No witnesses but glass and light. And the way you bite your smile. Stay right there, don't cross the line. Lines are sweeter when they bend in time. After hours, chlorine blue. I'm already undressed by you. I've been wanting for my body, love for how I behave. But you look like you're deciding which part of me to crave. I don't need you to jump in, I don't need you to ask. The heat is in the almost, in the slowness of the task. You dip your toes, then pull them back, like you know exactly why. I feel the water climb my calves, like it's learning how to lie. The clock forgets its manners, the rules forget their names. We're two adults with perfect timing, playing dangerous games. After hours, chlorine blue. Every second tastes like truth. Not what we do, but how we wait is what makes this feel unsafe. Breathe me in, then let me go. Or don't, either way I know. After hours, chlorine blue. Nothing touched, but nothing's true. The lights will come back on at dawn. The water will forget. But every time I smell the night, I'll feel you wet with thread. After hours, chlorine blue. I never swam, I still went under you. Doors close and the world shrinks small. Just you, just me, just steel and walls. The hum beneath our feet is slow, a heartbeat neither wants to show. Your shoulder grazes mine by chance. I don't move, I let it dance. The mirror splits us into halves, reflecting secrets, quiet laughs. The lights flicker soft above, like they know the pulse of love. We inhale and measure time and let the tension speak in rhyme. Every second hangs electric. Elevator eyes, the space is tight. Every glance a spark, a fight. We don't touch yet almost do. Every inch belongs to you. Hold the pause, let it tease. Let the silence bend and breathe. Elevator eyes, bodies near. Tonight, desire is here. The numbers climb, the floors go past. I feel your presence slow and vast. Your hand drifts close almost to mine. The air tastes sharp, the moment fine. The soft click of buttons, muted sound is all the music we found. Your breath a rhythm I obey, and yet I'll make you wait and stay. The confined world amplifies every move, every sigh. I measure courage in your glance and dare not break the trance. The walls themselves grow warmer, elevator eyes, the ride is slow. Every look a secret we know. We don't speak, the world's outside. Here just tension, nothing to hide. Lean in close but not too far. Let every floor raise the bar. Elevator rise, bodies near. The height of longing is clear. I've been chased, I've been desired, but never like this in metal wires. We float in gravity of one, where every second dares to taunt. You inhale, the space grows small. I trace the shadows on the wall. No one sees, no one knows, yet here our private fire grows. The doors announce another floor, a fleeting choice we can't ignore. I step back, the tension stays, a song unplayed, a game of ways. The hum continues low, discreet, your gaze a challenge I can't beat. We'll leave this cage when it allows, but carry sparks beneath our brows. Elevator eyes, slow and deep, every breath a secret to keep. We don't need to touch or speak. The silence drips what words can't leak. Hold the pause, let longing tease. Let the air bend as it please. Elevator eyes, just you and I. Tonight, desire rides high. Doors will open, lights return. We step out, lessons learned. The world resumes, the streets, the cries. But in the lift, our fire lies. The headlights line up like short-lived stars on asphalt going nowhere fast. The booth is warm, the night is wide, every car a future passing past. I
count the coins, I lift the gate. My shadow stretches thin. They hand me moments through the glass, then disappear again. Some drivers won't look up at all. Some smile like we're old friends. Funny how a second's pause is all the story gets to end. This job teaches you how to let go. I take exact change at midnight, let them roll on through. Everybody's in a hurry to become something new. I open lanes, I close my eyes to what I can't outrun. They keep on chasing tomorrow. I stay here counting one. A trucker hums an off-key tune, hands crack from honest miles. Couple fights and whispered tones, and pays me with a smile. A kid asleep in the backseat, dreaming past this night. I left the bar a little slow, like I could time it right. The radio talks, weather stocks, and things that don't last long. I muted, let the engines play their tired rolling song. Every lane leads somewhere else. I take exact change at midnight. Tickets, bills, regret. Some chasing what they get. If there's a place between goodbye and moving on, it's right here where the engine idles till the light turns on. I once sat behind a steering wheel with plans I couldn't keep. Thought distance was a cure-all for the promises I break. She said don't live your life letting others pass you by. Now I wave at strangers' taillights, learning how not to ask why. Every toll's a small decision, stop or disappear. I chose the one that stands still and listens close to fear. 4 a.m. the traffic thins, the road exhales in gray. The sky practices a pale new blue, like it's learning how to stay. I log my shift, stretch quiet bones. Another night I counted so many lives when racing through. Mine simply stayed grounded. I took exact change at midnight, held the gate then let it rise. Watched 1,000 different futures flash by in pairs of eyes. If you're afraid to slow it down, afraid of what you'll find, just know someone stayed behind so you could cross the line. The booth goes dark, the lanes go free. Dawn wipes the mirrors clean. I step into the empty road and listen to what's been. Another night of passing lives, another truth I own. Not every road is meant to take you. Some just teach you how to let go.
I was small enough that the bench felt wide, feet barely brushing the floor. The keys were taller than my hands, but I kept reaching for more. Stores like stairways every day, up and down, black and white. Metronome counting patience, teaching time how to be right. I didn't know what music meant, just that it asked me to stay. So I stayed through the wrong notes and the long afternoons of gray. I learned early how sound can wait for hands to catch up with the heart. Those keys were a language I borrowed before I knew my own voice. Every mistake was a question, every measure a choice. I didn't play to be perfect, I played to understand how a song becomes a shelter when it grows inside your hands. Teenage years and heavier chords, dreams louder than the room. I wanted fast applause and fire, not practice afternoons. Competitions, closed door nerves, smiles held a second too long. I learned how silence feels after playing something wrong. Some nights I hated that piano for knowing all my doubt. It never lied about my work, it always called me out. But it stayed when I almost left, waiting without blame. Those keys kept telling the truth, even when I couldn't hear it yet. The discipline is a kind of love, and progress carries sweat. I learned to slow my wanting, to let the notes arrive. Music wasn't chasing greatness, it was teaching me to survive. College halls, late night rooms, scores spread like open maps. Jazz crept in between the rules, taught me how to bend the gaps. In process it felt like trust, like stepping off a known floor. For the first time I wasn't asking what I should play anymore. I listened harder than I spoke, learned space is part of sound. The courage to leave a measure bare and let the truth come around. Small clubs, low lights, heavy air, a piano slightly out of tune. Hands remember everything in the room, breathing with the groove. I played for strangers, then for myself, then forgot the line between. Somewhere in that middle space, I became what I had been. The applause wasn't thunder, it was warm, it was kind, like the sound of recognition from a life well aligned. I wasn't proving anything, I was finally present. These keys are no longer taller, they fit me like a name. Every note carries my history without carrying my shame. From first scales to broken hearts, from counting time to letting it go. I didn't grow into the piano grew into me, I know. If you hear a little girl in my chords, reaching past what she could see, know she's still here, still playing, just standing differently. I sit at the bench with open hands, no fear to where